How's everybody doing? Today is December 14th, 2025. And now it's time for me to make my testimony video. Thought about it a long time. Again, I'm not going off any notes. Just speaking what comes to mind. I don't know how long this is going to be. But my testimony is about my drinking and the history of it. When I grew up around alcohol. My dad drank. My mom drank some, but I remember my dad always having a beer in his hand. My uncle and aunt and uncle, they always had drinks. I mean, I wasn't there working, but when off work, we always hung out lake on boats. Everybody there drank. When I was a kid, it really didn't bother me. I mean, I never witnessed anybody getting drunk and being stupid. I mean, maybe some people at the docks, but it wasn't family. But I didn't drink. Of course, I had sips of beer when I was little, but it tasted nasty and I had no interest in it. Even through high school, I had one gentleman, we were cruising in Cedartown and he needed a ride, so I gave him a ride. And he asked me if I wanted to smoke some dope. I said, "You got dope on you?" And he said, "Yeah." I pulled the car over right then. I said, "Get out." I said, "I don't want any of that stuff in my car." Um, my sophomore year, I chugged a Stroh's beer over in Durrell Apartments on. It's raining right now, so if y'all getting a lot of noise, I chugged a Stroh's beer on a dare, and that was it. I didn't drink anymore. Had no desire, and I graduated high school. And 15 days after graduation, I was in San Antonio at basic training for the Air Force. Went through that. My first duty assignment was Clark Air Base in the Philippines. In 1984, right before Christmas, I arrived over there. Philippines, while y'all may not know, and I'm sure you know, but it's a third world country. Back then, their average income was $60 a month. Of course, being an American GI, mine wasn't much better than that. I'm trying to be funny. So alcohol was real cheap over there. I was 18, thousands of miles away from home. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have the luxuries we got today. Phone calls cost $3 a minute to call back home. So needless to say, I didn't do that much. I mean, I called my folks and it was a collect call and they paid it, but I didn't want them to be, charged that much. We had letters, we could write. I had few people that wrote me, and sorry, I'm off a tangent in my mind. So, is even though I had coworkers, I was 18, very impressionable. Um, and the guys took me downtown. Beers are cheap. I mean, you could get drunk on a couple of dollars. It had San Miguel and Red Horse beer over there. The water wasn't safe to drink. The beer was safer. So yeah, I guess that's where I started drinking. And that lasted the whole time I was there. Stay out all night drinking, show at work, half lit or more. One time I had a boss. I mean, he's a cool boss. He could have got me in a lot of trouble. But he looked at me and said, "You just go back home and sleep that one off." And I did. I don't think I did that anymore. So yeah, I did a lot of drinking over there. While I was there, when I left the States, the drinking age was 18. Well, by the time I came back to the States, they had changed the laws to 21. Well, I wasn't 21, so I was not legal to drink. So I went to the flea market and got a fake ID made. It worked fine. I could get in bars. A lot of drinking going on, hang out with buddies. And several stories there. So then I slowed down my drinking. Sorry, my remote's beeping at me. The thing that's holding my phone. Um, so I got married to my first wife. That that didn't last long. Won't go into details about that, but that peaked my or started my drinking back. Trying to remember all this stuff. It's been so long ago. It's been nearly 40 years. Then I got divorced from her and started saving my money. I slowed my drinking down almost to not much at all. Wasn't that big a deal. I mean, at that time, I don't think I was an alcoholic. Seriously. I mean, I could have quit, and I did pretty much. It's just social drink every now and then. I'm trying to think of ways to say this without. I'm just going to skip over all that. It got to a point. I would I would drink at home, cutting grass, working out in the yard, I always had beer in my hand. And it just progressively got more and more. And I wouldn't drink and drive, but that changed as well. After work, hang out with some buddies. I may have grabbed my phone here in a second. This thing's making some kind of noise. Hang out after work, drink beers, tinker on our cars, and I drive home after that. And I shouldn't have ever done that, because that just got worse and worse. You know, you think you can do it, and nothing happened the night before. Just keep doing the same old thing. And that yeah, it was getting pretty bad. And I realized it, but I guess I thought I was invincible. Luckily, no law was involved in anything I did. I never got pulled over, never hurt nobody, hurt myself. It got very scary. Of course, people were telling me I need to quit drinking, and it, you can talk to somebody until they're blue in the face about telling them to stop drinking. Until they want to do it, it's not going to happen. And that just makes people around you mad because you're not doing anything to help yourself, not doing what they want, even though it's what I needed. So I decided to get some help. First, I went to a psychologist. That was several years before I got sober. And she put me on antidepressant, and that stuff was rough. The suicidal thoughts were horrible. I told her, I said, I got to stop this. But anyway, several years later, I decided to go to AA after several people suggested it. I went in the first night, and the stories, it was a combination of AA and drug people too. And the stories that they were talking about had no relation to what I was going through. I thought, I didn't think I fit in there, so I didn't go back, but I did eventually. And I talked to this older gentleman at the time. He's dead now. And the best advice I ever got was from him. Tony was his name. He said, you drink because you have problems. You're an alcoholic because you have problems. He said, when you quit drinking, your problems are still going to be there. You're going to have to learn how to deal with them. And that sticks to me today. And he's right. So I started going to AA. For 90 days, I went 1 to 3 times a day. This group that I went to had multiple meetings a day. I'd go in the morning, I'd go at night, I'd go at lunch, go on the weekends. I just immersed myself in AA. I didn't do the 12 steps. I got step 4, maybe, I don't know. But I picked up the Bible as well, because they were Bible oriented, so to speak. And I started reading the Bible. And I hope this rain is not going to be too loud for this video. I for 90 days, that's all I did. Went to AA, worked. At the time, I was living with a roommate, and he drank like a fish. And I said, if I'm gonna beat this, I'm gonna have to be around it to fully quit it. That's my thinking, because I don't want any temptations later on. And it worked. One day after another, I didn't drink. It's been 19 years now. August was 19 years. And I'm so happy for it. God was with me through the whole thing. And I want to help others achieve what God allowed me to achieve. I go back to the meetings every. I try to go back every year, but on my anniversary to talk in the meeting to hopefully help people just starting. I think I made a video about something that happened at my last anniversary. That was something else. How that happened, that's just another God moment. I'm pretty sure I got a video on that because it was just amazed me how it happened. But if you know somebody that's struggling, maybe this video will help them. Send it to them. Shoot me a message. And I can talk to them. But until they want it themselves, they will never achieve it. It's that simple. I feel like I'm missing a whole thing here. Again, I don't like reading off notes. I just like talking to try not to ramble, but now I'm starting to. But God has been good to me. There's if I can just help one person quit drinking, that would be fantastic. Because it's such a better life. You may not think so when you first start quitting because of the struggles. Yeah, I wanted to drink. The urge is always there, especially if you go out and work in the yard, get hot and whatnot. One thing I did do was I found a non-alcoholic beer. I tried several. I found one that tasted like I thought it should, and it was called Sharps beer. And I drank that to get me past that um, craving. Now, if you're on drugs or something, I can't help you as far as find a substitute. But as far as or hard liquor, I don't know what substitute would be for that. But for me, Sharps beer satisfied the craving. And technically there is alcohol in it, but it's like 0.02. It's very minute. I did that probably for a couple months, I don't know, maybe 6 months, just to fight the urge. And then I just stopped that altogether too. I've even stopped drinking soft drinks. It's been over 10 years now that I haven't had a soft drink. I drink black coffee in the morning. Up until lunch, I drink water the rest of the day. And I have a tall, frosty mug of milk at night. Now, when we go out to eat, I might get a sweet tea every now and then. But as far as carbonated drinks, any kind of sweet drinks other than tea, I don't touch it. If I can quit my dipping, that'd be great. I think at times I think I'm ready. Hell, I've even quit for 3 or 6 months one time. I changed jobs and the stress in it was just too much, and I caved and gave in to dipping again. But if you got somebody that needs help, don't hound them. You will just drive them away. Make everybody's personality is different. You have to figure out that person and how you can talk to them. I would say most alcoholics are strong-willed. If they think it's an attack on them, that's the way I perceived it when I was drinking. Everybody's bottom, they gotta reach their bottom. Everybody's bottom is different. Mine was not as bad as some. I didn't get in trouble with the law. Kept my nose clean there, but it's just a matter of time. But at least my bottom was not that deep. I was able to stop before I kept digging. So you have to figure out how to talk to that person. They may not be, you may not be able to talk to them. But someday they'll wise up. There's others that will never be sober. But don't give up on them. They call it a disease. I don't know if I call it a disease. Maybe it is. I'm not a doctor or nothing. Well, that just died. Y'all gonna look at me sideways now? Take this thing off. I don't know what it's doing. Set you up down here. Anyway, this video is about over anyway. If y'all got any questions, if I can help in any way, I'll do what I can. If you want me to speak to somebody, I can do that. I don't have all the answers, that's for sure. I just know what worked for me and what got me sober. This video has been 25 minutes. I appreciate y'all if you listen to this far, sticking with me. I know my videos are not exciting, it's just somebody talking. But like I said, if it can save somebody and get them sober and even get them in the Bible, you can't ask for anything more than that. Anyway, again, thank y'all for listening. Y'all be good. God bless. Bye.